Is this the tea of the season?
Princess the Bear, today we're at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and it's time to go to
high tea.
In the Garden View Tea Room. The princess has waited for this one for a very, very long time. Pre-Pandy, pre-YouTube, actually. And it is finally open, and of course, it's your number one choice of foodie infotainment. We're here to try all the tea, so you don't have to. She's vegan. I'm not. I suppose I had some food or something too.
It's time to foodie and chill. This is one of those chocolate style teas. It's very light compared to the aroma that you get ahead of time. It tastes more like tea than the smell of it, but it is lovely. With a little bit of sugar, it's going to be fabulous. I would give it a 4 out of 5 teas.
They're turning tea here into an entire experience. It's meant to be enjoyed, meant to be savored. They come out with a nice little box to display the teas in, giving you smells and aroma and background on each for you choose. And it's unlimited tea, so go bonkers. Smell a bunch, taste a bunch. It's literally the tea meant for you to sip. Ooh. I was worried about chocolate and how sweet that would be, but it's actually really subtle but very smooth. Very drinkable. I feel internally enhanced. I would give that 4 out of 5 claws.
I got your standard English Earl Grey style tea. I think that this is ideal for having a tea, high tea, and eating all this beautiful food. So cheers to high tea returning. It is the standard style tea that I drink at home, and when I do Twinings, it's usually Earl Grey, or I do chamomile and peppermint sometimes, but it's typically Earl Grey. So this is just basically the same tea that I drink at home. The breakfast tea too, they have that. I drink that. It's lovely. It's a little on the lighter side of tea than I usually like overbrew my tea and make it like really, really heavy, I guess is the word. But it's nice. It's nice and light. I would give it a 4 out of 5 teas also. It's tea-tastic.
So in this beautiful cup, we have the English breakfast Earl Grey. Now, the aroma is amazing. It's the nostrils tingling, little hairs and whatnot. Maybe this will put some hair on my head. More hair, if you will. That's a nice tea. Now, they do also do infusions of the tea as well. So if you wanted to infuse the tea with, so they have hibiscus, lavender, and there's one more that they have. Rose. So you dry rose petals. You can infuse these as well. They have sugar on the table, both white and brown sugar, and they also have milk and cream. And if you want, they also have alt milk, so like oat milk, on depending on what they have in stock for the day. So you can tailor your tea experience to your enjoyment. This tea, I will be enjoying. Give this 4 out of 5 claws.
This is actually the one that I wanted to try, but Bear ordered it before me. It's the chai. It smells so good. I could sip this tea all day. Wow. It is like a light version of the cinnamon challenge. That is much different than what I expected it to be. I would give this a 3 out of 5 teas. I am not ordering this one.
So yes, I stole the chai tea, or I stole the chai, not tea, just I stole the chai from the princess. Previous, I would always drink chai at home after like work. I wanted to chill out one day, so it just harkens back to the days of old. Oh, I like that. Now, it said spicy chai. I don't want you to think you're eating like a Carolina Reaper pepper or you're sitting on the Hot Ones gauntlet. It means there are spices in the tea, so it's a bit more punchy and forward than most of the teas you're going to taste. But I like it, especially after I add like a little bit of sugar and a little bit of oat milk. Perfection. For me, that's a 4.25 out of 5 claws, but I love chai.
The unlimited, I think it's an orange cranberry scone, if I remember correctly. It's vegan, and I'm not a huge fan of dried fruit. It is served warm, but let me tell you, scones are perfect with tea. And they give you 3 different accompaniments for it. So we have a vegan butter, a marmalade, and a vegan cream. That is amazing. I'm going to try it first by itself and then each one of these. I don't tend to be a scone person because they're just very, very dry for me. They have to have a tea. This one is not that dry. It kind of falls apart in your mouth a little bit, and it's beautiful. I love that. I would give it a 4.75 out of 5 scones. As somebody that doesn't like dried fruit, I love this. Now, I do want to try it with some of the other fixins. So, let me just do the butter. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do all 3 together. You got other things to see in this review. All right. Cheers. The butter is very delicious. It's like Earth Balance, but just whipped, but not like the whip that you buy at the store. Like they hand whipped it here. The marmalade is really citrusy. I like that. And the cream is like super light. I love it a lot. I love the cream the most, and I wish they served it in more locations around Grand Floridian because I would eat that every day on things. I'm sure I do. I'm sure they put it on like the Mickey Mud Pie and stuff. But yeah, it's really good. I would make this scone service a 5 out of 5, and I'm glad it's unlimited.
So now we're all about that scone life. I, for one, love the dried fruit, and I love the little visual cue. The plant-based scones are circular, and then the non-vegan ones are squares, which is cute. I'll take a little bit of the orange marmalade, and I'm also going to do a little bit of this cream here.
That's the butter.
And the butter? I guess I'm doing all 3 before the process then. It takes me back just a little bit as a child. When I used to babysit myself a lot as a child, and one of the things that I did was I cook. I learned to cook. I got like a little learn to cook cookbook, little thin, tiny thing. And one of the things in that cookbook that I always want to learn how to make was scones. But we never had the ingredients to make scones because they looked so good in the photo. But I honestly can't remember the last time that I actually had a scone, like in person. Can't remember if I've ever had one. I'm sure I've had my ripe old age, but till then, the scone is wonderful. It is a bit dry, as it should be. You expect the scone to be a little bit more powdery. The dried fruit does give like a spark of flavor, which would go well with the herbal teas. It feels like an experience. And honestly, take your time, enjoy the things, mix and match. It's a wonderful scone. There's nothing in there that like screams at me plant-based. It's just good. I would give that 3.75 out of 5 plus. Now we come to the regular orange, looks like orange cranberry scone. Now it's the same sort of fruit as the vegan one. It just happens to be a square, same sort of consistency, that like biscuity, more dry flavor. We're just going to take a normal bite first. I feel like this experience is like touching all the senses. It's more, and most meals, especially signature dining otherwise, are like this, is you're not tasting things with just your tongue. You taste it with your eyes, you taste it with your ears, like all the things, the clinking of the glasses, the plates, where everything is displayed. Remember to take all of that in and enjoy, and this is very much one of those experiences. It's taking me back, honestly, to Epic Universe, Blue Dragon, because they also have a sort of like tea thing that you can do. It's not like a tea service or tea experience, but it reminds me of like ordering like tea to the table. This, definitely way above that. Scone itself, since I'm on my tangent, very good, very tasty. I would give that 4.25 out of 5 claws. Now we're going to give it some of the dollop of fixings. So we have butter. We have this Devonshire cream, butter, Devonshire cream, and the orange marmalade. Just going to go a little bit of the butter. Not that soft, but it'll do. There's orange marmalade, which I love. Honestly, putting in peanut butter sandwiches, don't judge me. And the Devonshire cream. Just going to go all in. as bears do. You know, I've said often, I'm not sure if I'm a bear that's built for fine dining. I'm built for high tea. I get used to this. I eat puffier shirt, maybe a vest, coat with tails. This is the tea that I will be having. I would give that same 4.25 out of 5 claws. I enjoy. So spread before me is the cheese plate enhancement. So this isn't included in the price. This is an additional $21. You can get this spread of cheeses and then some little crostinis on the side here. You have a cream cheese, or sorry, a little mini cheesecake that the chefs allowed them to have here. And then you also have a little like a goat cheese, a little dip here with the flour, then some brie with some truffle and a flour. This cheese with a Comté on top. And then you have a little fig. Now, I'm not going to do the cream cheese because I want to live. But I do want to try a little bit of this goat cheese here, because I am a goat cheese connoisseur, if you will. Just going to get a little bit here and put it on the edge of a crostini they give for you to enjoy these with. Unmistakable goat cheese. You get that like goat cheese, that like gamey funk. But you get a lot of goat cheese, but that one's a lot more present. But it spreads very easy and it's got a very nice flavor. If you are a cheese head, you will enjoy that one. I would give that a 3.75 out of 5 claws. Then we're going to move on to this brie infused with truffle. Now, when they sat down this plate, this was all that I smelled. Just truffle, truffle, truffle. And even though I do like brie, I got to tell you, this push to put truffle in everything, not a vibe. Truffle with a side of cheese. I taste no cheese. I only taste truffle. But it goes well in the crostini, but that one is really going to hang in your mouth. I'm going to need a sip of my nice chai to wash the truffle out. 1 sugar, a little bit of oat milk. The cheese itself, I would give that a 3.25 out of 5 claws. You need to dial back the truffle just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Then we have the cheese with the Comté on top. This is a bit of a harder cheese. That may take a little bit of force. Just gonna dump that off on the crostini. Just like adult Lunchables. Go to town. That one is a vibe. It's like having cheese, a little bit of like specialty jam on top. I love that one. It is a really like raw and sharp cheese. I did triple magic pill it, and I will be taking another magic pill when we leave, just to make sure that I make it through the night. But honestly, I would risk it for the biscuit for that entire log. By far my favorite one. 4.75 out of 5 claws. And last up, we have a little bit of fig. So it's just a little like green fig. Like you have like half here. I'm just gonna eat this one by itself. I don't think it needs a crostini. Go figure. That feels like a nice, like, almost palate cleanser at the end with all those cheeses. But it's a good fig. It's tasty, it's fresh. If you want to enhance your tea experience, then you should go with a little bit of the cheese, I think. For $21 added on, that's not, I don't think, an exorbitant price. That's pretty similar to what you'll see for many of the cheese plates across the park. And if you don't want the cheese plate here, I do love the both charcuterie and cheese plate they have upstairs at Enchanted Rose. I would give the fig itself a 4 out of 5 claws. To give the entire cheese plate a solid 4. I think it's worth the experience. If you're coming here, treat yourself.
This is the Red Bush Caramel Velvet Tea. It's looking very red. Reminds me of Georgia Clay. Interesting. It's very light. The notes are very light. This is one that is not caffeinated, so very aromatic. Not too floral. I like that. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 teas. It's beautiful.
Well, Red Bush was going to be my second selection of tea, but it has a very unique color, very much more red than the other teas, and this is a herbal tea, whereas the previous teas were loose leaf tea and then also being caffeine free. So you can get whatever you want, herbal, loose leaf, caffeine, non-caffeine. Very, very amusing. So that Red Bush has a very unique, very forward flavor, but still very enjoyable, very herbal. So different from the loose leaf teas, but very tasty. I would give that a 3.75 out of 5 claws.
It is Nowruz, and I'm drinking tea, and for some reason, I am the boringest tea drinker here. I got the Earl Grey. So English breakfast and Earl Grey, basic. But it smells so good, and I feel like it'd be great with the food. It is like your classic Earl Grey, and then it has like that tinge of orange to it with a little bit of a kick. Beautiful, classic, everything that you would expect to taste with an Earl Grey tea. I love it. I would give it a 4 out of 5 teas. I feel like I've been reading all of the teas before for the most part. I guess they're good. I think it's because it's Twinings. Twinings makes some really good teas.
One of the best parts about doing food reviews, regardless of the high tea experience, is the community. We love our community and everything you guys help provide to this channel. Meeting you guys face to face and talking to you guys in the comments across our different social media platforms. The one thing that I've learned is you don't know what you know until you know it, or you don't. So I know there are those of you out there who are far more experienced with tea than we are. I need you to give your expertise to both us and the community in the comments. Always want to hear from you guys, see what you guys think of the experience so far. The orangey Earl Grey, pleasant aroma. Very orange forward, but less like sharp than I was expecting, but definitely very, very orange. It's got a nice like subtle flavor to it that I think will go well with some of our little bites, but it is, I think, a decent tea. I would give this one a 3.5 out of 5 claws. If you're a little less adventurous, I think this is probably the tea you should start with.
The black currant and lavender has some little guys floating in there. I'm pretty sure I've had this one before at other locations around Walt Disney World because it's all Twinings, and Twinings does a lot of stuff for Disney. Oh my gosh, it is super floral and very aromatic. It's like, you know how like when you eat lemongrass and it's just like pow in your face? This is like that, but not lemongrass, black currant. It is very strong on that and too floral for me. I would give this one a 2 out of 5 teas. This is not my tea.
I'm excited for this one because this is the one that our server said was her favorite. Do be warned with the herbal teas, since the leaves are the ingredients are a bit finer in these teas. You're gonna get some leaves in here. You're gonna get some stuff floating around in there that's completely normal, and it's not going to kill you. Whew, already before I take a sip, that is pungent. This is a very, 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 very odd comparison. But that initial sip, I immediately go back to one of my favorite drinks I get at Rose and Crown, which is the Black Velvet. That level of smooth, and I believe that one has some black currant in it. It's probably why I connected to, but I quite like that. I do have a bit of leaf in the back of my throat, but I'm fine. But I love the flavor. It's nice and subtle. The smell is a bit strong, but I think, like, honestly, for this second favorite tea I've had today, give that 4 out of 5 claws.
We are starting this tea tower with the chickpea tart. which I'm really excited about. And it has this beautiful little heart on there, which mimics bears. Cheers. That does not taste like what I expected it to taste like. You get a lot of chickpea stuff at like Sanaa and a couple of other places, but this is a taste all its own like uniqueness. It's cold and it's got like it's mixed with other things. So you even get like a little coffee aftertaste. It is extremely interesting, a little gritty, but not bad. It's just got it really tastes like you're eating tea, if that makes sense. I would give it a 3.75 out of 5 chickpeas. I was really excited for this one, and it definitely left me surprised.
I love how beautifully themed everything is here for this garden view high tea experience. Everything is themed off Alice in Wonderland if you hadn't got all the cues already. But seeing like a little heart in the middle of the tart, like you don't have to do that. You could have just made it a tart and named it something weird. Going that extra step to add the little heart piece in there furthers the experience. That's a little bit of the magic that maybe some of us have been missing. Okay. Actually, I kind of like that. It's more of like a savory tart. If you go back, way back in our video catalog, we had a Magic Kingdom Bring Your Own Lunch Day where we did like a chickpea salad sandwiches. It's reminding me of that with more like what's it called, cinnamon in there, like a cardamom, but like a little bit like more savory sweet balance. But it sort of works. It sort of works. It very much works. I like that. I'm glad this isn't a buffet because you might see me in a corner like a Gollum with like a whole tray of these screaming out my precious because those are delicious. I'd say 4.75 out of 5 claws. So for the bear portion, we have this curried chicken salad tart, playing card tart. So this is supposed to be like one of the Queen's playing cards turned into a delectable finger food for me to eat with my tea. I hope these cards don't pop out with faces or spears are trying to poke at me, but I'm going to eat it anyway. It is definitely going to disgust the princess what this has created in me. There's definitely going to be some chunk canned chicken, curried chicken salad sandwiches in my future at the house. Most definitely. That's delightful. I was thinking it was just going to be like light with chicken. No. Stuffed with chicken, very much chicken salad. The tart is perfectly flaky. A little bit of like curried flavor, a little bit of sweetness. That is great. I would give that 4.5 out of 5 claws.
This is a really interesting artichoke tart. And the thing that I love about this is that they really take the time to make it look like the non-vegan one. When you have like what looks like caviar, this is supposed to be fish, but it's artichoke. And then this beautiful crisp on the bottom. It looks like you need a fork, but you do not. I'm so excited to try this. Wow, that is flavorful and so very different. You get like a lot of little sweet notes to it. And then the artichoke is just is masked in a way to where everything just blends together really well. This is a very unexpected option. And I would eat like a full sandwich of this. It's beautiful. I would give it a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessities item. I love these tea items. They are so cute.
I have to give props for props due to the culinary team. They put a lot of work into making sure that alt diets like plant-based and vegan, vegetarian also had something that they could eat here and not feel like they're missing out. For years, back when they had the old tea experience, we were worried that the princess would come here and literally get like dry cucumber sandwiches and little else, but they literally have almost a 1-for-1 for everything, and I appreciate that. Because I don't want to do tea alone. This looks scrumptious. The flavors, the seasoning, the spark like magic in my mouth. All I've got to say to those friends that actually have my phone number asking why I'm not in the club, I need to understand why you aren't at high tea. That is immaculate. 4.5 out of 5 claws. So behold, this little character right here is the Footman's Feast, the salmon crisp. You have this pulled salmon all formed into the top. You have a little bit of roe on top as well, on top of a little crisp. Literally a Footman's Feast. Just don't stick your foot in it. I was not expecting that smoky salmon flavor with the hint of the sweet. That is a journey. Literally like a journey of the foot, but in your mouth. But still, don't stick your foot in your mouth. Not like I do. That is tasty. That is delectable. I honestly wasn't expecting much from T finger food, but so far, I want more. Like Ariel style. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to do that to you guys. That 4.75 out of 5 claws.
Look at this cute little caterpillar cucumber roll with this pumpernickel and its gray stuff. I love this. Caterpillar was probably my favorite character in Alice. Those cucumbers are not just cucumbers. They almost taste like infused with like a rose or maybe like a hibiscus, like some sort of floral infused cucumber. And then the pumpernickel is really strong. So I guess I would be saying, like, who are you to this? Because it's questionable, but in a good way. It makes you think, like the caterpillar. I would give it a 4 out of 5 pumpernickels.
This 100% vegan, caterpillar-free caterpillar cucumber roll. I love how it pays homage to the caterpillar with these colors. All I'm just sitting here is wondering where like the little hookah is in the smoke pipe. But even still, it is gorgeous for a little finger food. I consider that to be one of the more challenging finger foods so far. Rye is really hard to pair with certain things, but I think the freshness of the cucumber and then the blue stuff, as we're going to call it, that's sitting on top, does a good job balancing all those flavors. But it's definitely going to be something strong and unique. You are not going to forget that taste. I would give that one 3.75 out of 5 claws. Go with the non-vegan caterpillar roll, still 100% caterpillar free. Not eating bugs here, though I'm sure they would be slimy yet satisfying. Not at all slimy, but very satisfying. Very fresh, very crisp. The rye is a vehicle for all things tasty and crispy. I would give that one 3.75 out of 5 claws.
This is the cutest little Tweedledee Tweedledum style mini sandwich. Bear gets an egg sandwich and I get a tofu sandwich. Tofu is typically the alternative for egg if you're going to do like a scrambled egg thing and you don't have a just situation. I love how they do non-alt meats here, which is great. But I love just, but it is hard to cook, so I think this is better. Plus tofu, I think, lasts a little bit longer. My eyes lit up when our server was like, oh yeah, it's tofu. Cheers. Now, obviously, they put turmeric in this tofu, and turmeric is a really hard flavor to cover up. It's usually, like, very dominant. But the way that they blended this together and seasoned it and put the avocado layer in there, beautiful. Beautiful blend, perfect sandwich. I could eat a full one of these. I could order one every day at Gasparilla and be happy. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a Princess Cities item. I love this sandwich. And I wish you could get seconds and thirds and fourths and fifths.
Tweedledee Tweedledum tofu salad sandwich. I respect the decision to go with the tofu over like a just egg. In my opinion, as much as we've used both tofu and just to make scrambles at home, I feel like tofu scrambles eat much better cold than just. Just does not taste good cold. So this, to me, makes a lot of sense for a sandwich. We've had a lot of tofu scrambles of varying quality, and they tend to be more towards like the middle to like bland. This is not at all bland. That dances much like Tweedledee and Tweedledum across my taste buds, and honestly, I want to put on a hat with the flag and a repeller, and maybe go dance around this room after tasting that one. I give that 4.75 out of 5 claws. I have my own Tweedledee egg salad sandwich here. Now, this egg salad sandwich is normally made with bacon, but vegetarians, we did confirm that they are able to remove the bacon for it. So if you wanted to get the plant-based tower and then get like a regular egg salad sandwich with no bacon, you can in fact do that, because the bacon is just a topper on top of the egg salad. That is an excellent egg salad. I actually do love what the bacon adds to the top, but the egg salad itself, very well combined, very well seasoned, very well executed. The bread is nice and soft. The egg salad is nice and cold. I literally have no complaints. Probably the second favorite savory item I've had so far today, and I quite like it. I'm giving that one a 4.5 out of 5 plus.
The Queen of Hearts tart is so adorable. You can see the little hearts, and then it's like a Fig Newton situation where you've got like the sauce in the middle. Cheers. It actually tastes like a Linzer cookie. It's got that jelly in there. It's got that like crispy. It's got like the sugar. It's very sweet. Would be great with tea, which I happen to have some tea. Cheers. 4 out of 5 desserts. I don't typically like those types of desserts, but this one is fit for the Grand Floridian.
With this tart, I suggest you let your heart be your guiding key. I will explain no more. It tastes very much like the Linzer cookie, but with like a brand base rather than that, but then the same raspberry jam, and it works quite well. You have that like the oaty earthiness of like a bran cracker with the jelly. It just works. 4.25 out of 5 plus. So this little dessert is giving me callbacks to the half a cup of tea from the Festival of Arts at Epcot this year, which was also coincidentally Alice themed. You have this beautifully cute like little coffee cup on top, or teacup if you will, on top of what looks to be chocolate medallion with ganache on top. I don't know how one eats this. I think you just destroy it. That is the Tea Party tart, and that is filled with like a coffee mousse. So you're getting like those flavors of like that chocolate, the coffee, and then like the little spot of cream on top. It's just like a coffee cup. It was extremely addicting. I want more of those. 4.75 out of 5 claws. I'm gonna start getting the shakes. So much caffeine, so much coffee. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna fly around this room by the time it's done.
The smallest of the Cheshire Cat type dessert, and it is so cute. It's like a little box. Now I have to share this with Bear, so I'm just gonna half it and take this half so Bear can have the other half. Cheers. That is not good. It tastes like jam and soap. Bear's gonna love this. It's very floral and very fragrant, but it just tastes like I just had a spoonful of jam. And I am not a jam or jelly person, so it was just a little too much for me. Like, I can do a small amount, especially in a situation like this, but that was just like, bam, jelly. Too much. I would give that a 3 out of 5. It's still really good. Like, the flavors are amazing. It's put together really nice. It's just a little too much for me.
So, Cheshire Cat makes his appearance on the plate in the form of a mini cake. Does that rhyme?
No.
Oh, okay. That feels like a sweet treat for a sweetie like me. That's tasty. It is very jam forward and very tart jam. So you're going to get like that sharp cutoff at the end. And then you get like a little bit of like cake sponge after that. But I would say it's like 80% jam. I have no complaints. I'm exactly where I want to be. 5 out of 5 claws. That's on the Bare Necessities list. I thought I was catching a stray from the princess saying something that I was going to like, but she knows me too well. Wondrously cute flamingo croquet crooks This is a little flamingo cake. Now, I'm not going to like straighten this one out and try to play croquet with it, but I am going to devour it, wings and all. But for this one, I am using a fork because I want to see these innards.
Creamy.
It's very creamy. I'm going to need a kniff for this one. It is filled with the cream, and then you get a little wing as well. It is filled with a custard of sorts. I know that flavor, but I cannot place it. I've had that flavor somewhere before, and until I remember exactly where, that's going to haunt me. But there's a delicious crunch on like the wing, made out of a similar like white chocolate. You see the medallions on some of the cupcakes across Walt Disney World, but that is a delightful surprise. I was not expecting it to be cream filled, but I like a good surprise. 4 out of 5 claws.
We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. I love this. This is so cute. I love that they give you like a little show too. Beautiful, beautiful rose. Let me just tell you, looks are deceiving on this one. This is a cake. This is a cake with frosting. And it is raspberry on the inside. It is delicious. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a Princess's item. This is an unexpected, beautiful, like, option. I didn't expect to like this at all. So it was very unexpected for me to, like, make this my favorite. But I think it's my favorite.
If there's anything a foodie loves, it's a themed dessert with a little bit of show. Dropping like the strawberry drops on top when you already got the filling inside. These beautiful roses, and then the whole theme of painting the roses red. We love that. It's literally called Painting the Rose. I like that one. There's something about the texture that I don't vibe with. The flavor sells it. It's giving me like almost like the lightness and the like sharp flavors of like a cotton candy, but not that texture at all. There's something in like the grittiness though that just, I can feel it in my spine a little bit. I want to love it. My body says no. I give that 3.5 out of 5 claws. I'll be honest, this one looks exactly the same as the one that's on the vegan tower. I cannot tell if it's any different. The sauce they put on top is from the same vial, and they look almost exactly the same. But in an abundance of caution, I'm trying this one as well. Very sweet, very light, like eating a rose-colored cloud. I like the fruit, I like the innards. I think it honestly is the exact same as the Princesses because the texture difference, I couldn't tell. If you put them side by side and ate them, I wouldn't be able to detect any difference. If they are different, then that is another accolade for the culinary team here at Grand Floridian because they're doing an amazing job. I give that 3.5 out of 5 claws.
I have a beautiful cake, and it's very rare when I can have a cake for my unbirthday. Bear wants me to blow out the candles, so I don't know why. If you sing me happy birthday, I usually make the same face, so. Ooh, this is like very creamy and smooth, almost like a mousse. Is there an innard in there? There's an innard. You know, Grand Floridian has the ability to make these beautiful vegan pastries. Why do I have those dry seasonal cupcakes everywhere else? I think this is the best vegan cake I have ever had at Walt Disney World, period, in my life. And I've been to Victoria and Albert's twice. And they've given me a couple of desserts that are really good, but nothing like this. This tastes like legitimate cake. Like the cream, the frosting is like the type of, it doesn't taste vegan at all. It really doesn't. It's just a beautiful cake with beautiful frosting, and I wish I had started with this because I would have finished it. Now that it's like the last thing that I'm eating, I'm going to struggle to eat it, but it is a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessities item. It is going to be one of those desserts that I dream about for a really long time, so unfortunately, Bear, I'm going to be asking to come back here a lot. Sorry, not sorry.
Cakes back on the menu, boys, girls, and them. And yes, you give me a fake candle, I expect that you're going to try to blow it out. I respect my inner whimsy, okay? Dive right in. Oh, as I destroy half of the cake. Got some innards? Got some innards. That's cake. That's very, very, very merry unbirthday cake. Like 100%. This is the kind of cake that you hand me when I come to your kid's party, and I take half of that and then hand it to some other kid so that he can drive his parents nuts later, running around the house like a madman. I love it. 4.75 out of 5 claws. Last up for my treats is the Matcha Mad Hatter. You have this matcha top cake with the Mad Hatter's hat and even the little card here on the front. Very cutesy, very demure, very mindful. Boom. And matcha on the inside, because I'm a matcha bro now. One must love matcha to love that. And I have my matcha credentials. I like a matcha latte with a little bit of hazelnut and almond milk. Not oat milk. Oat milk's a little bit too much. Almond milk. Too nutty if you go with the oat milk, because you're getting the oats and the hazelnut. It just don't work. Almond milk. This, delicious. 4.25 out of 5 claws. This experience is going to be the talk of the Disney tongue.
I agree. And us.
Yes,
our time.
Because this was so much fun. I know that it seems like a simple tea service, but like the theming, the cast members, everything, like this was a really fun experience. Now the trays or the towers, like, you know, you each get your own tower. The scones were unlimited, and so was the tea. So you can, if you want to order every tea on the menu, and you have the bladder to do it, you can do it. We had 6 of them.
Let me tell you, though, you don't need any extra scones.
No.
You do not.
We really thought that, like, this is going to be some sort of, like, just focus on the tea, and we were going to leave hungry.
Yeah.
We're full. Like, we were so struggling with those last few desserts to try to finish those off. And, like, I got an equal part savory, equal part sweet. And honestly, I feel like I literally had tea, appetizer, entree, and dessert, and I feel fine.
And there's a lot of places that make us feel rushed. We did not feel rushed at all. We were invited to relax, take our time. We got a later reservation because we have to work. Mm-hmm. And we stayed probably like an hour after they closed, and they were super nice about it, though I felt really bad about it. They were like, no, you want to stay longer, blah, blah, blah. And it was very nice. So I just say overall, a grand experience at the Grand, and very fitting for here, and 10 bazillion times better than anything Cake Bake could ever offer.
Yes. So if you're wondering if this is an experience that you think that we should get, if you do like our recommendations for other things, I'm giving this the Princess and the Bear stamp of approval.
I agree. And it doesn't matter what diet you are, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, a bear, they will accommodate you. Yeah. They will accommodate you on the fly.
Yeah, so we went to Cake Bake and had tea. She got nothing. She had fruit.
I got one tea.
Yeah, well, tea and fruit. And then, honestly, this is the experience I think you should do. But we know what you guys think, given all that you've seen, the experience, the food, the drinks. Tell us what you think in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you'd like to see us do, the comments will always be the place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, well, Bear is just going to be a Cheshire cat, slowly disappear. Because we're all a little mad here.
It is probably the last time you're getting me in a top hat, though. So don't get used to that one. But you heard the girl.